The grand observation hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with the quiet murmurs of the most ancient beings in the universe. 12 immortal species, each with lifespans measured in millennia, gathered to discuss the newest spacefaring race, humans. Admiral Vex, a towering crystal entity who had witnessed the birth and death of stars, projected his thoughts to the assembly. These humans, they've accomplished in centuries what took us millennia. Their advancement curve is unprecedented. Director Lorne, a gaseous being contained in an ornate vessel, rippled with concern. It's not just their speed, it's their recklessness. They experiment without proper simulations. They modify their own genetic code. They willingly damage their bodies for entertainment. The council chamber dimmed as records began playing on the central display. The Immortals watched footage compiled from human observation posts. Humans jumping from great heights with primitive parachutes, diving into frozen waters, racing vehicles at dangerous speeds, and attempting stunts that defied logical risk assessment. They call it extreme sports, explained Tala, the council's human specialist. Unlike the others, Tala's species had only lived for 20,000 years, making her practically an infant in this gathering. They seek what they call an adrenaline rush. They enjoy the sensation of risk. Admiral Vex's crystalline form shimmered with disbelief. But they're so fragile. Their average lifespan is less than a century. Why waste it on such dangers? Tala displayed more footage. This is what truly concerns our research division. Observe this repeated phrase across human cultures. The display showed countless scenarios. A human about to attempt something dangerous handing a beverage to another saying, "Hold my beer." What follows this ritual phrase is invariably an action of extreme risk with minimal preparation, Tala explained. It appears to be a social challenge, a demonstration of courage or skill that overrides self-preservation. The atmosphere in the chamber grew heavy with concern. We've sent observers to gather more data, Tala continued. One witness reported a human engineer who, when told a reactor breach couldn't be fixed without specialized equipment, simply said this phrase before manually recalibrating the fusion core with improvised tools. Director Lorne's gaseous form swirled agitatedly. Did the humans survive? Yes, Tala replied. And the repair worked. This is the pattern. They succeed often enough to reinforce the behavior. Admiral Vex projected unease. What does this mean for galactic stability if humans join the council? The question hung in the air until the eldest member spoke. Guardian Morrow, a being of pure energy who had existed since before the current universe cycle, had been silently observing. Invite them, Morrow said simply. Shock rippled through the chamber. Tala recovered first. Guardian, with respect, humans are unpredictable. They don't calculate risks like we do. They act on intuition and emotion. The phrase, "hold my beer," literally precedes their most dangerous improvisations. Morrow's energy form pulsed gently. Precisely why we need them. Our immortality has made us cautious to the point of stagnation. We calculate, simulate, and deliberate for decades before acting. These humans, they innovate through necessity and impulse. The council reluctantly agreed to Morrow's wisdom. One standard year later, the first human delegation arrived at the Galactic Hub. The integration proceeded smoothly for several cycles until an emergency shook the hub. A quantum filament storm, a rare phenomenon that could destroy even immortal beings, approached the station. The evacuation was orderly but too slow. In the command center, Captain Jack Reynolds of Earth studied the sensor readings while the Immortal Council debated evacuation protocols. We need 15 standard hours to complete evacuation, Director Lorne stated. The storm will hit in 12, Admiral Vex countered. Reynolds looked up from the console. What if we disperse it? Guardian Morrow turned toward the human. Impossible. Quantum filaments cannot be dispersed with our technology. Yeah, but what if we reverse the station's shield harmonics and channel them through the communication array? Create a resonance field? Reynolds suggested, already typing commands. Admiral Vex's crystal form clouded with alarm. This is untested. The resonance could tear the station apart faster than the storm. Reynolds grinned and reached for his drink, a beer he had brought despite protocol restrictions. He handed it to Tala standing nearby. "Hold my beer." The Immortals exchanged knowing glances. Some actually moved behind protective barriers. Tala accepted the drink with trepidation. Reynolds worked with astonishing speed, bypassing safety protocols, rerouting power systems, and reprogramming shield harmonics in minutes instead of the days such modifications should take. His fingers flew across the controls while he hummed an ancient Earth tune. As the storm approached, he activated the modified array. The station shuddered. Alarms blared. For a terrifying moment, it seemed the humans' recklessness would destroy them all. Then, miraculously, the quantum filaments began breaking apart, dispersing harmlessly around the station's new resonance. Filled when the danger passed, Reynolds reclaimed his beer from a stunned Tala and took a long sip. "Sometimes you just gotta try stuff," he said with a shrug. In the cycles that followed, the phrase "hold my beer" gained a new status among the immortal species. It became both a warning and a symbol of hope, an acknowledgement that sometimes the unconventional approach was exactly what was needed. Guardian Moro later confided to Tala, "In all my eons, I've learned one truth. The universe doesn't reward caution alone. It rewards those bold enough to attempt what seems impossible." Tala watched as humans integrated further into galactic society, bringing their unique blend of recklessness and ingenuity. "They terrify me," she admitted. "As they should," Moro replied. "But remember, while we immortals have the luxury of time, humans must accomplish everything in less than a century. Their brevity gives them courage we can only marvel at." Across the hub and engineering sections, science labs, and diplomatic missions, a new protocol emerged when conventional methods failed. Find a human, wait for those fateful words, and then, perhaps most importantly, get out of the way. Even immortals knew when to duck for cover, because what followed those words would either be spectacular failure or impossible success. And somehow, against all probability, humans managed, the latter just often enough to keep the galaxy on its toes.